Adesua, at a young age, is kicked out of her mother's house because she refuses to marry the man that her mother has chosen for her. Adesua's mother had always been controlling and had plans for Adesua that didn't align with her own dreams and aspirations. The arranged marriage was the final straw, and Adesua, determined to live life on her own terms, found herself homeless and on her own. Years later, Adesua becomes successful through hard work and perseverance. She builds a thriving business and lives in a beautiful home. With her newfound stability, she invites her mother and younger siblings to live with her, hoping to mend the strained relationship. Adesua's mom was cheering loudly, saying, "Now this is my child. I am so happy with you." Her sister, Idia, dreams of being a video content creator, often spending hours filming and editing her content in hopes of becoming the next big internet star. Her brother, Osazi, lacks direction in life and is easily swayed, often falling victim to scams and get-rich-quick schemes. They went inside, and Adesua's mom was amazed by the furniture in the house. Days later, as they were eating and talking, Idia suddenly started feeling pain in her shoulder. And their mother, Ehi, asked her what was wrong, and she said, "Doing so much work around the house is what caused this. I'm not a machine." Their mom replied, "We really need to get a housemaid." Days passed. One morning, Adesua looked in the pot and found no food. She asked her mom, "Didn't I give you money to buy enough food yesterday? Why didn't you buy it?" Ehi replied angrily, "I am old. Did you expect me to walk? I used the remaining money for transportation. I told you to buy me a car, but you didn't want to." Adesua said, "Okay, I'll buy you one." Her brother, Osazi, was asking his sister Adesua for 300,000 naira to invest in a certain company. Adesua knew that the company was actually run by scammers who steal from people, but Osazi kept insisting. While they were still talking, their mom came in, and suddenly the phone rang. Adesua saw it and asked, "Whose latest iPhone is this?" Idia said, "It's mine. My friend bought it for me." Adesua asked, "Who can buy you a phone worth 1 million naira?" Angrily, their mom interrupted and said, "Since you couldn't buy it for her, let her enjoy it. If you don't want us to use your money, just say so." Their mother, Ehi, is demanding and unreasonable, never satisfied with anything Adesua does. She constantly asks Adesua for large amounts of money for frivolous reasons and insists that Adesua hire a driver for her, claiming she deserves to be treated like a queen. Whenever Osazi or Idia fail or get scammed, Ehi blames Adesua, accusing her of not doing enough to protect and guide her siblings. One day, Adesua invited her friend Titus to her home. While they were eating, Adesua's mom asked Titus, "I heard you are jobless and just wandering around the streets?" Titus was shocked to hear this and started choking. Adesua's mom continued to give Titus harsh and hurtful words. Titus kept eating while coughing, but he couldn't take it anymore, so he said goodbye and left. Then, Adesua tried the food Titus was eating and immediately spat it out. It turned out that their mom had put too much salt in the food. Adesua didn't like it and also left. One day, Ehi sprains her ankle, making it difficult for her to get around. To accommodate her mother's needs, Adesua hires a driver named Jason. Jason is smart, kind, and hardworking, always going the extra mile to ensure Ehi's comfort. Ehi told her daughter to find another driver who is older because Jason is only her driver. Adesua said she can't hire two drivers because it's too expensive, so they'll both use the same driver. Her mom agreed, but warned her to sit in the back and keep her distance when she is with Jason, so people don't think she's romantically involved with someone of lower status. Over time, Jason quickly notices how amazing Adesua is, not just as a businesswoman, but as a person. He admires her strength, determination, and kindness, and it doesn't take long for him to fall for her. Despite spending a lot of time together due to her mother's demands, Adesua remains oblivious to Jason's feelings. She is focused on her work and the constant demands of her family, leaving little time for personal matters. However, one evening, after a particularly stressful day dealing with her mother's unreasonable requests, and her siblings' troubles. Adesua and Jason went on a beach that night. They had a heart-to-heart conversation. Jason told Adesua how beautiful she is, how much he loves her, and how he wishes to be with her. But Adesua told him she can't be in a relationship right now. They share their dreams, fears, and the burdens they carry. Please subscribe to Nigeflix for the latest Nollywood movies and exclusive content. Don't miss out. The next day, as usual, Jason went to pick up Adesua for work, but before they left, Jason got a notification that his MBA application was accepted. In her excitement, Adesua found herself kissing Jason. This deep connection leads to them spending a romantic time together, changing the dynamics of their relationship forever. One day, Adesua was sitting at the table with her laptop when Jason came over and asked her why she looked worried. Adesua replied that there was a job opportunity in London. Jason got excited and told her to take it so they could be close while he was studying for his MBA. Jason kept convincing her, and finally, Adesua agreed. They kissed, but suddenly, Idea walked by and saw them kissing. Idea said sorry and left. Adesua followed her and begged her not to tell their mom, but Idea refused and said some harsh words before leaving. Later, Adesua went to Idia's room, and they talked until things were okay between them. The day passed. The next day, Adesua, without happiness, showed Jason the hospital results indicating she was pregnant, and they were expecting a baby soon. Jason was very happy, but Adesua still showed that she wasn't happy. Without wasting time, Jason pulled out a ring and asked Adesua to be his wife. He told her they would move to London together, and he would take care of her and the baby. Adesua agreed, but told him she would need to tell her family first. While they were eating one day, Adesua quickly left the table and went to throw up. Her mother followed her and said, "You finally managed to embarrass us." She went on to say, "Hurry up and get rid of that baby." But Adesua refused and said, "No one will touch my baby." Adesua went to the living room and found Jason there. Suddenly, Adesua's mother came, shouting about who the father of the child was. Jason said it was him, and that they had planned to tell her. Adesua's mother, angry, told Adesua, "You mean you slept with a driver?" Jason jumped in and said, "I have good intentions for your daughter, and I have already given her a ring, and I plan to marry her." Adesua's mother replied, "That will happen over my dead body." Adesua and Jason left while her mother kept shouting, "This is impossible and will never happen." Meanwhile, Idea starts dating a wealthy man named Stephen. Ehi is thrilled about the relationship because Stephen has money and represents the status and security she desires for her children. Later, Idea was shooting a recipe video in the kitchen when she went to get something from her room. Meanwhile, Adesua's mother entered the kitchen while Idea's phone was still recording. Furious about Jason being the father of Adesua's baby, she decides to try and poison Adesua's unborn baby, driven by her twisted belief that she is protecting her daughter from a mistake. Her anger and resentment reach a dangerous peak. She sees him as an obstacle to the life she envisioned for her daughter. Thankfully, Idea saw the video and discovers the plan and intervenes just in time to prevent the tragedy. Days later, Adesua's mom's excitement over Stephen's wealth blinds her to any potential red flags. When Idea confides to her mother that Stephen is abusive, hoping for support and guidance, she dismisses her concerns, saying that every relationship has its secrets and that Idea should learn to handle such issues quietly. Desperate for her mother's approval and convinced that she knows best, Idea continues in the toxic relationship. She ignores the warning signs and endures Stephen's abuse, thinking it will eventually get better. This misguided trust in her mother's terrible advice leads to a tragic outcome. Idea ends up in the hospital, battered and bruised by Stephen. The physical and emotional toll on Idea is severe, and she realizes too late that she should have listened to her own instincts. As Idea recovers in the hospital, Adesua and Jason's relationship grows stronger. They continue dating and find happiness together despite the challenges they face. Adasua's pregnancy adds a new layer of joy and responsibility to their lives. Jason, who has always been ambitious, gets accepted into a prestigious school in London for his MBA. This opportunity is a dream come true for him, but it complicates their situation. While Idia is in the hospital recovering from Stephen's abuse, she refuses to let her mother visit her. The betrayal and pain are too deep for Idia to face her mother. This rejection deeply hurts Ehi, leading her to realize the extent of the damage she has caused to her family. In a moment of profound regret and sorrow, Ehi begs for forgiveness from her children. She pleads so much that in time, the family eventually forgives her, recognizing that holding on to anger will only continue the cycle of pain. In the end, Adesua and Jason get married in a beautiful ceremony, surrounded by their family. They look forward to a future filled with love and hope, determined to build a life together that is free from the shadows of the past. That's all about Thicker Than Water. But before you head out, make sure to smash that subscribe button and join Nigeflix's family today. We've got tons of Nigerian movie recaps, and more entertainment is coming your way.